Okay, here we go. Gonna do a little coffee roasting today. So I didn't just mess everything up. Sorry my last one didn't work out so well. I didn't have all my mics set up properly. Hopefully this one's gonna work better. I just kind of do this on the fly and I'm not any kind of technical person. So I got my Sweet Maria's coffee right there. We'll show you over here. It's great. Gonna go ahead and get this going here so we can get it going. £2 coffee. I just got my new batch of Sweet Maria's coffee, an 8-pound batch, 2-month subscription. So I got that in here. Go ahead and get this guy going. There we go. Get you with the gas. And adjust the flame here. Adjust it too much. A little bit of a wind today, not too bad. So I've been roasting at a little higher temperature lately. My burner is one of those high BTU burners. It's not like the normal one. It's like a turkey fryer type of burner. So I have the air damper adjuster down here, and it just adjusts the air for the flame. And if you adjust it too much, the flame will blow out. Like I said, I'm trying to roast this at higher temperature so it roasts a little bit quicker. I'm sorry, I got to go back inside and get my thermometer. I always forget that. So this is the thermometer that I use right here. It's digital, and it's just got the wire probe here. And it's really nice because it just sticks in to the old slot over here. And of course I got it on the wrong side. Got my roaster turned wrong. Got it turned this way for some photographic clarity, so we can see the coffee beans. You see the coffee beans right here, spinning in the drum. And like I said, I'm roasting 2 pounds, and I get the assorted sampler pack from Sweet Maria's. So everything's different. There's not any of the same type of beans. I'm not really picky about them. It's kind of the most economical set that they have there. So between shipping and everything, it cost me like $60 to get 8 pounds of coffee shipped to me. And like I said, I'm on a 2-month subscription. So every 2 months I got 8 pounds coming in. And if I run out or I'm running low, I'll order an extra 4 pounds just so I have it. Go through about a pound a week. So yeah, I hope you can see the temperature there. One of those things I should have set up, but I didn't. Maybe if I turn it this way, you can see it better. That's too much glare. I'm gonna need that. So we'll see if you can see it that way. So like I said, got my burner on a little high. I'm really liking this new coffee roaster I have. As I've said before, I used to have the basket type roaster, which was, you know, it's a little cheaper. It's like $80, $60, something like that now. And it's just like a wire mesh screen type basket. It's a little smaller. It struggles to roast a pound at a time, but I managed to get it to work every week, roasting a pound a week. And it lasted me, I want to say it lasted me a good, 2 years before I finally melted it. And I think I just melted it because I had it at a little too high of a temperature. And the mounting bracket is kind of got some plastic on it that kind of melted, and I don't mean melted like melted away. I just mean melted it softened enough to where the plastic came out of alignment to just hold the drum in place. It wouldn't stay on the motor. So that was when I ventured up and got this here. I really like the drum. It seems to roast a lot more even. It does take me a little longer though. It seems like it takes a little while longer for the heat to travel through this metal drum. That's why I try to turn the temperature up. I'm not turn it up a little bit more here. I mean, it does seem to be going pretty quick here because we're at 294 degrees, 295, and it's climbing pretty rapidly. And I try to speed it up just for the purposes of doing the live stream here, because it does take, from 10, 15 minutes to get a batch roasted. I do it live just so you kind of just see the whole process. You can actually see the beans in the window over here. They are getting a little darker. They're starting to brown up a little bit. And then my setup just basically consists of, I have my burner, which as I said was like a turkey fryer, outdoor turkey fryer burner, a camp style burner. It's just single burner. It is high BTU, so it is I don't know what the actual BTU is on it, but it's got the red handle and knob on it, which means it puts out a higher pressure, which means more heat. The regular one isn't going to have a red adjusting knob on it like this one does. I don't know if you can see it down here. And I am roasting probably a quarter turn more than I used to, maybe a little more, just to get the heat up. So we're at 350 right now, and we're already starting to get some cracking, which is a good sign. Once cracking starts, we're getting close. Now, my only wonder is here with this heat kind of cranked up a little bit more than normal, is how even the roast is going to be. This is kind of the quickest I've run this machine in roasting. Let me turn the motor up a little more. That may help. Starting to get some smoke. We're at 370. We're going to roast to a temperature of about 440, and then we're going to pull it off and we're going to throw it in the colander over there. I have I don't know if it's stainless steel or aluminum or whatever it is what it is, but it will handle the heat. It's a stainless steel colander right here, and I have it sitting on top of it's like a $24 fan. It's like a turbo fan or whatever. It blows pretty good, and what we use it for is we want to cool the beans down once they finish, and we also want to blow the chaff out. Now, as it starts finishing roasting here, you're going to see some chaff kind of start coming out of the vent holes here, and we're getting a little bit more cracking. See if I can put the mic up there a little closer. Kind of melted it a little with a little fuzzy stuff. It's a little hot over there, so that burner's pretty high. So we're at 406 degrees now. I'm watching the beans through the window. I'm actually going to turn the burner down just a little bit. It is going pretty quick right now. I'm going to try to slow the roast down a little bit. So I don't know how well you can see in the window here how the color of the beans have changed from very light colored to now they're almost they're definitely getting towards a medium roast. It looks like it's definitely a light roast, but they're getting some color. It looks like they are coming in pretty even, and that's all I'm really trying to accomplish is a nice even roast. We're at 416 degrees, and like I said, once this gets to 440, we're going to try to, as quick as possible, open the door. I have a pair of channel locks I use to open the door because my gloves are so thick I can't use them to open the door. There's a little tab on it so small. So I have these channel locks to kind of open the door, pull it off of there, dump it into this colander, and get the cooling process started. Then I shake the colander to shake out all of the chaff. And roasting 2 pounds, I've kind of come to know that it is a little bit of work to get all the chaff out of 2 pounds. When I did 1 pound, it was a lot easier, it seemed like. Doing 2 pounds, it's a little more work. But doing 2 pounds, I can go 2 weeks in between roasts. And it's not that I mind roasting, but I get busy on the weekends. I have summertime projects going on, getting things done. Especially in the wintertime, though. It rains. I'm living in Western Washington. Pretty much in Tacoma, and we get a lot of rain in the wintertime. I don't have a covered patio out here, so then in the wintertime, what I end up doing is, oh man, I let it go too far. I was talking too much. Well, we'll see how this turns out. Oh, that's dark. All right, well, hey, dark is okay. That's really dark. I'm gonna love that. I love dark coffee, actually. So it actually ended up being at about 450 degrees by the time I shut my mouth and talked. And let me get this back on here. This is going to take a little while to cool off, but it actually looks really nice. So I don't know how well you can see the chaff blowing out of there. Oh, it's actually a really nice dark roast right there. I really like that. I haven't had a dark roast in a little while. I used to actually roast all the time at about this temperature. And then we kind of decided to back off a little bit and go down to a little bit more of a medium because you get a little more caffeine out of medium light roast. And, you know, but I've been noticing it seems like our coffee maker hasn't been making the coffee as strong. You know, when I order coffee at the coffee shop, and I'm not a Starbucks drinker at all. In fact, I won't buy coffee from Starbucks. I don't like their coffee. I know their process. It tastes burnt. The roasting process we do on the beans is actually kind of a, you know, our Starbucks coffee roasting warehouse is kind of by my work. I drive by it a lot. And we have two places that roast coffee out here. We have the one that's for Starbucks, and then we also have the one that's like the generic place that does it for a lot of grocery stores and different stores and stuff like that. And there's a big difference in smell. Oh man, when you drive by the both of them. The generic one that does it for all the different stores and stuff, it actually smells a lot better, a lot more like coffee. You know, good coffee. You can smell the flavors in it, like literally what flavor they're roasting. Starbucks, it smells like burnt coffee. Every time you go by there and they're roasting coffee, it just smells burnt. And I don't know if you've ever had Starbucks. I'm sure you have, because I don't know anybody that doesn't go to Starbucks, but me. You order their drip coffee, it tastes terrible. It tastes burnt. And that's the thing about roasting at home. You know, I have never had that burnt flavor from all the coffee I've roasted. And I want to say I'm going on 3 years now, maybe even more. I don't even remember when I started doing this at home here. So like I said, I'm just working on getting the chaff out of here. There wasn't actually a lot in here. So many beans. Man, I'm just making a mess though. Holy mackerel. The wind also helps blow it out. I mean, if I really wanted to do a really better job at getting the chaff out, I would have a fan blowing directly over the top of it like this as well. One blowing up and one blowing across. That would probably give you a little bit better chaff removal, because I do notice that sometimes some of the chaff falls back in here. That actually looks really good. I got chaff all over me. Not really seeing too much left here. All right, so be prepared. As I said, I got the temperature up to about 450. So this is definitely a dark roast. I mean, almost espresso. Any more higher of a temperature, it would have been in catching on fire territory. Once you get above 460, man, these beans don't like that. I've actually had it happen where I wasn't paying attention. I've had beans catch on fire in the basket. And that's a good way to ruin a batch, especially 2 pounds of coffee, you know. It's a good $10 worth of coffee. I'll give you a little glimpse here. not that bad. It's definitely dark though. I mean, you can see that. It's a dark roast for sure. But, oh man, it's got some great flavor. I already know. I love the dark, fresh roasted coffee. I really, really like it. And sometimes I don't mind doing, when I used to do the 1 pound, I don't mind, I'm sorry, this view is a little bit bigger in the camera on the screen for you, but you know, I don't mind roasting two separate batches, you know, one like a medium and one a little bit more dark, and mixing them together and making a blend that two different coffee types roasted at two different temperatures. You know, that's really good too. I really like doing that. It works really good, and it's a good way to get a bunch of different flavors and stuff like that. So that is my roasting for this week. Like I said, I tried to boost up the speed a little bit quicker for you, so it wasn't taking so painstakingly long to get this done here. And of course, my talking so much, I lost track of the temperature. And I'm not going to say it's not burnt, that's for sure. If it was burnt, these pieces would be more sharp. And right now, it's definitely really dark. I forget the name of it, but it's a little bit more than the dark roast. Like I said, it was 450 degrees. And that's about the highest you want to go. I mean, 455, 460 is, you know, just getting into the territory of burnt. And, you know, there's not much difference between, you know, 425 is a good, nice medium to medium dark roast. I think it's called a city roast. And a little lighter than that at 420, 415 get you into lighter roast. So there you go. There's my batch for this week. I hope that helps you out there. Learn a little bit more about coffee roasting. Just doing some live demonstrations for you. It's not necessarily even a demonstration as much as it's just kind of just showing you how I do it, my process every week or every time I do it. And maybe give you the confidence to where you can go out, you know, for $200. You could be roasting some coffee at home on a pretty regular basis. And for about $60 every 2 months, depending on how much coffee you drink. You know, a tank of propane lasts me at least a year. I don't have anything else I roast. I use my propane for except my roaster there. So it lasts quite a while. Definitely lasts a while. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Look out for the next live video. I will do one of those probably in a couple weeks. Have a great one. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.